Hey guys, part two on grains for you today. So I talked yesterday about how grains are a really abundant source of energy, but it's energy we simply don't have a need for. Modern processing, advertising, social situations mean we overconsume these foods in a major way. So anyways, our ancient ancestors, they ate meat, fish, birds, roots, berries, leaves for millions of years. They would have worked bloody hard to get enough food to sustain themselves. Um, if they managed to catch plenty of animals, they did pretty well. When the hunting was scarce, they depended quite a lot on plant matter. But finding plants that actually had enough energy in them was tough. Finding plants that were edible in the first place, probably even tougher. Because the thing is that things like grains, beans, potatoes are full of energy, but they are completely inedible in their raw state. They contain a lot of toxins. Best way to think about these toxins are that the plant's version of teeth, claws, and fast feet. Okay, they use toxins to protect themselves against consumption, the same way animals would use their teeth and claws to protect themselves. But around 10,000 years ago, caveman discovered fire. Classic Gary Larson cartoon, have you seen it? They're all holding their meat in the fire with their hands, and then someone goes, "Hey, look what Zog do," and he's over there with his meat on a stick. Clever man. Look it up on Google, it's still there, it's a classic. So caveman discovered fire and realised that cooking these foods destroyed enough of the toxins that they could actually be eaten. I'm going to emphasise that point though. Just enough of the toxins were destroyed that we could eat them, okay? Not all of them, and this is the problem. I'll get into that in some detail now. The cooking of grains, beans, potatoes had a really huge effect on our food intake. It meant we could get all the energy we needed from plants without the effort required for hunting. And it's a fairly widely spread belief that this easy access to food is what set us on the path to modern day civilization. As we now have more time on our hands to dream up the wheel and swords and iPads. Now I've got dual nationality with Ireland, so I'm only here today thanks to potatoes. But is that Irish or Indian accent? Potatoes. So I'm really grateful to the spud anyway. But despite the advantages we gain from cooking grains and the like, our genetic blueprint was never really developed with them. Okay, and so we're suffering today from an over-reliance on these foods. There's two main issues to be aware of with grains, besides the one I mentioned yesterday, which is the abundant energy. Hang on a second.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Jojo, emergency. What do you need, mate?
Sorry.
What do you need?
You know those containers down there?
Yep.
Do they get broken down and thrown away? The ones that all the gear came in?
Yeah. You keep them? Yes.
Yeah.
No
I'll
worries.
keep one of them
Okay.
for a coffee table. Cool.
Jojo wants a box to put her toys in.
Thanks.
All right, so so lots of energy in the grains. We talked about it yesterday, but now we're getting on to these toxins. So gluten's one you've probably heard of. Lectins are the other one. These toxins basically cause problems for many people via gluten intolerance and inflammatory issues. Gluten can cause anything from bloating, poor energy, to major digestive problems, arthritis, impaired immune system, celiac disease. Okay, the lectins mess with the lining of your gut, and they cause it to essentially leak, which lets toxins through that shouldn't be getting through. Rob Wolf puts it quite nicely as feces in your bloodstream. Not cool. Not cool at all. But as grains, beans and potatoes form such a large proportion of the modern diet, we've got a lot of people walking around bloated, lethargic, susceptible to illness, overweight. Again, because these foods are so ingrained, excuse the pun, in our society, it's no easy task to decrease your intake. They're bloody everywhere. Pasta and rice, potatoes, bread, cereal. Cheap, convenient. It's the classic student food, Why would you put a price on your health, though? That's what I guess I'm asking. A big expense when you're eating healthily is food, but what choice do you have? I completely understand that the whole grains of poison angle sounds a little bit like a conspiracy theory, but it kind of is. Big food companies have got a lot of power when it comes to promoting and advertising. Food agencies, universities, health organisations, they're all sponsored and supported by food companies. and you just have to look at the bottom of a lot of the research studies coming out to see that some major drink producers and cereal manufacturers have a hand in that stuff, and how can they possibly have our best interests at heart when it comes to our health? So, with regards to ditching the grains, just give it a try for a month. That's usually what I say to clients. Read up for yourself, but give it a try, and you might be surprised at the difference. Often people don't realize how bad they were actually feeling until they compare it with how good they start to feel when they do this. So tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit about sugar and why getting rid of that, as well as all the artificial sweeteners and everything else, is a good thing. Plus I'll lay out a little bit about what you should be eating now that we've taken away an entire food group. See you tomorrow.